Live at Dunamis Church from the city of Logan, featuring our live studio band. This is Tonight at Dunamis. I'm Edward. Let's welcome our host, Sean Hansen.
Here we are tonight to talk life at Dunamis.
Yes. It's great to be back. Ed, good to see you.
Woo. Yeah, I'm squatting again. Yeah.
Squatting again, yep.
I
kind of have like good news, bad news, Ed.
What's the good news?
The good news is we're going to be doing that new series about the end times.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to be doing that. That's the good news.
Yeah, we are.
We need good news for the end time.
Isn't that like a contradiction?
No, well, trust me, my news is good news.
Of course,
unlike
of course.
others. It's good news.
Yeah.
The bad news?
It's bad news.
This is the end of this particular series for Tonight at Dunamis.
Oh.
I know. I can hear Nolene Nagel right now just yelling through the cameras.
Yeah.
It can't be happening.
Can't believe it.
This is our last show.
Yep.
We've done 4, and we'll do the odd one, throw him back in a little while, but we want to go on. We just only have so many days and nights and so much time to do things.
And so much sanity.
So, I don't know about sanity, but we certainly are busy, my friend. So what happens is we're going to take a break from this program, and we're going to go in and start doing some of the things in regards to the end times.
Yes. We're going from ending to ending.
That's right.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing that starting next Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
So that's what's happening. So we're just glad you're going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
We might have more people. We might have less people.
Yeah.
But
hopefully less weight.
I don't think there'll be as much laughing.
Yeah. I don't think
but
so.
But anyhow, we're doing that next week. So we start then, which is great. Well, let me just say a couple of things. I've been reading the news. Are you glad about that?
That's good.
How's your exercise program going?
It's good. I got up at 5:30 a.m. and I did a 4K walk.
Very good.
It was great. Good. There was no one else there. There was no obnoxious amount of people outside.
Obnoxious amount of people. Wow, okay. Do you feel better for yourself?
I do, but like there was this lady who was like walking her 2 dogs without a leash in a public park. That's 2 times I've seen her do that.
Yes.
So if you know who you are, you don't know me, I know you, you're breaking the law. There's security cameras at that park.
You know what my wife says?
What?
Sean, you are not the police.
See, that's the issue. I don't have a wife to tell me that.
That's the point. Ed does not have a wife, and that's why we say each time we are looking for a wife.
That is the purpose of this show. I'm not going to be able to find a wife now.
So that's why we're giving a break for a while, because we want to vet all of the applicants that have come in. So that's what we'll do, vet. Let me tell you a couple of things. The NRL, the rugby league, has been in the news. It's been in the news quite a bit.
Yes.
Do you watch rugby league?
No.
No. Do you watch any sport?
Is
ping pong?
Is e-sport included as a sport?
I don't know what that is. Okay. Anyhow, so I remember when the NRL had just done, I think, 1 or 2 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah.
And everybody was conscious about social distancing.
Yes.
And I laughed. I laughed about how at the end of the game, they wouldn't shake hands.
Yeah.
It was like...
Yeah, they were kind of like...
But it's ironic.
Yeah,
because they were tackling and hitting each other, someone putting their thumb in someone else's mouth, but they can't shake hands.
But they can't, That's weird, eh?
I can't figure that out. Well, the story of the NRL is continuing because, as you know, they're trying to do this, replay the games again, get the game going.
Yeah.
1 minute Queensland says no, yes, maybe, we don't know. They're all going to Tangalooma Island, Moreton Island. They're all going to someplace in the middle of Queensland. Then they're going to New South Wales.
Yeah, they're having the whoop-whoop.
They're going wherever. But somehow they want to get the game going. And I understand. People love the rugby league. You know, I understand that. But the issue is, the question was asked, well, what about social distancing?
Yes.
And I heard one of the commentators said, you need to trust the rugby league players. Trust the rugby league players. Weren't these the guys that had a problem with schoolgirls, drink driving, spousal abuse, and we just trust? Oh,
well, they're on the TV, Sean. So obviously they must be of high standing. So I should be able to trust them, right?
Let me tell you, I've got a good friend.
That's good. You've got a good friend.
Yes, I do. Unlike you, Ed, I have a good friend. Okay, and he played for the Broncos. He played for Souths and for Canterbury, I believe.
Yes.
He was also played for the State of Origin.
Oh.
When we come back,
I'm
going to ask him to come in.
Ooh.
We'll ask him to come in.
Yeah.
pray for me, but I'm going to ask him to come in.
Okay.
I'm going to ask his opinion about what's happening in the rugby league series. So that's to come.
Yeah.
I read something else. There's this new, what do you call it? And you're going to talk about it later on for us, Trace government app they're talking about. This, to be able to find you. Yeah, it's not something
Big
that goes...
Brother's watching.
It doesn't go under your skin.
It goes under your toenails. Yeah.
No, none of those things. Don't get scared. It's an app for the phone, but you're going to talk about that in your session later on.
Yeah,
right?
I am. Yeah, I am. Get hyped.
So it's meant to be to, if you want quicker, so we can get out and socialize, the more they get involved, they can track or be aware of who you're with, right?
Yes, to see if there's 2 or more people in the environment you're in.
Well, my
So the
favorite
cops will
part
come
was
find
when
you.
they asked the federal government member, Barnaby Joyce,
yes.
how he felt about it. He said, not doing it.
Yeah, not doing it, yes.
Not doing it. He says, not doing it. I do not want to be checked up
To
on.
be fair, does he even know what a phone is? Isn't he like 70 or something
no,
like that?
hang
Doesn't
on.
he know what a phone is?
Don't do that. I don't mind Barnaby Joyce. Don't do that. All I want to say is...
Hey, he's
all I
not part of Liberals. I can make fun of the national part of the LNP, right?
No, take it easy, okay? Remember, we have a special guest,
We do have a special guest.
and he's LNP.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Do you know what that stands for?
I do, but I best at you.
Liberal
Yeah.
National Party. It was combined in Queensland.
Yes, of course, yes.
There's a part of there that's national. Don't do that. Okay, we're going there. I also love talking about our police. And let me say, I had a situation on Saturday where the police were fantastic.
Yes.
We won't go into that, okay? But the police were fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay? But I don't know if you've noticed this, but as I've been driving the last couple of weeks, back to work and home only,
Yes, only. Yeah.
and just going on the motor for a little bit, I have noticed so many erratic, crazy drivers more than before.
I know, right?
It seems to be like they think, I'm not saying it's true, they think there's less police around.
There's like more. There's
Is
so
there?
much more.
I just can't find where they are. They're not on the road.
Yeah.
I think I know what they're doing.
Now partying.
No, they don't do that. Well, please, but I think there's a lot of fines being done.
There is a lot of fun.
And these fines are taking up a lot of our police resources.
Yes.
A lot.
And our personal resources as well in your bank account. If you get fined.
If you get caught.
If you get
Ed,
caught.
you haven't been caught, have you?
Exactly, I haven't been caught.
Ed, you need to be good because
It's
I
last episode.
do obey the laws of the land according to Romans 13. I respect the leadership and I respect the authority. But talking about resources, I saw on the news, I think last night,
Yes.
where there was 3 young fellas, 19, 20, 21.
Yes.
And they're a little bit naughty. They like to
No,
smoke.
yeah. Well, it was
okay.
420 yesterday, so it makes sense.
Say again?
420.
I don't
It's
understand.
okay. Young kids at home understand, Mr. Sean.
Okay, well, the fact of it, here's the issue, Ed. Young kids aren't watching.
Yeah, the arm on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyhow, they had gone to a construction site on the Gold Coast,
Yes.
a high-rise,
Yes.
okay, and they went to the top floor,
Yes.
okay. They must have thought they get on so they illegally trespassed,
Yes.
went to the top floor, and they were doing whatever they do.
Yes.
What are the odds that the police helicopter was coming by?
Jeez, that's like a 1 in 100,000.
Right,
Has to be,
and so
right?
the police helicopter saw
Yeah.
3 guys
Yes.
doing what they did,
Yes.
but more importantly, they weren't doing what they're supposed to do in social distancing.
See, that was why they got caught. If they were just 2 meters apart, it probably would have been fine. Then,
I'm
celebrating
just saying
420.
they're not allowed out for, they didn't have a valid reason, right?
Yeah.
The helicopter came down so low to activate their voices. So the police says, attention, attention.
Yeah.
You are breaking the law. If you hear us, put your right hand out. They literally showed you with the right hand out.
Oh.
And they said, do not move. The high rise is surrounded. So our police resources are held up with a helicopter, our police helicopter. That wouldn't be cheap.
Yeah, geez.
Surrounded by police, and they sent the canine unit up. Next minute, you see through their camera this German Shepherd just snapping at these guys. What was the tickets? $1,300 each plus $240 for trespassing? That's a good
War
night's
on
earning.
drugs.
No,
I'm
war on
glad to
drugs.
see our resources being used.
I
with
don't
that.
think it wasn't drugs, but anyhow,
Oh, that too.
I warn everybody, be careful and remember, you don't need the government tracker to find you.
Yes.
The helicopter will find you.
Big Brother's
The
watching.
canines will find you.
Oh, big time. Yes.
Be careful.
Yes.
Well, it's going to be a good show tonight.
Yeah.
I have a special guest.
Hey, we also have 2 great musicians with us as well.
Who's that?
We got someone on the guitar.
Eric, our one and only Eric. Didn't he do a great job for us Sunday night?
Oh, it was all right, but that Ian guy was heaps better. Oh, man.
Oh, man. What do you say about that, Eric? Not much.
This is what I think about it.
Oh, yeah, that's all you can say. That's all you're good for. Playing the
And of
guitar.
course, his companion tonight
Yes.
is
Nigel, let's go.
DJ Top Dog.
Top dog, let's go.
You know, Top Dog, he's still sore from last week when he tried to have a go at your license name.
Oh, yeah.
And then you responded by saying that his name was worse.
Yeah.
Do
He
you know
hasn't got over that
Do you
yet.
know what I find funny? That his DJ name's not even Top Dog and you've been getting it wrong. Like every time it's Mad Dog, right? Wait, isn't it? What is it?
No, it's Top Dog.
It is? No way. No,
It is.
you're lying to me. We made fun of that last week, that he kept getting it wrong.
No, it was Big Dog last week.
Oh, it was Big
Yeah.
Dog.
But he can be a mad dog, a big dog, a little dog.
It's
or a
Top Dog, right?
Yeah, it's Top Dog.
Top Dog. Ed.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, well, on this
Like
great
mediocre
and
dog.
interesting news, why don't you guys just take it away for us right now?
You've seen him on Sesame Street with his best mate Ernie. It's Bert!
Well, thank you, Ed.
You're welcome.
Sanitize.
Sean.
Yeah, thank you.
That's one of the better ones, but seriously,
yeah.
you need to get some new material. That's been used since my days at
I'm
school.
sorry, honourable.
You're bringing us back, childhood. Speaking of names you get used at school, was that the names that was used at you at school?
There was always a variety, so that's one of the more polite ones, which I think will stick.
We'll stick to that. Mine was, so Hanson, you think you're handsome, do you? And I go like, seriously, that's the best you can do? Sean, it's a prawn. Really? I mean, that is it? I mean, really?
Yeah.
So Ed,
Mine was
Ed the
Deadwood.
bed.
what was that, Eric?
Ed the bed.
Ed the bed.
Yes, I had.
I was going to go, Ed has a big head, but I mean, I don't know about that. So what was yours?
Well, it was Deadwood. I also had the old. What makes you young? And then I also had Tuna. So people used to call me Tuna Face. So that was real.
Why? That sounds cruel.
Yeah, I know. That was year 2
That
for you.
smells.
Tuna face. Why tuna?
Because I was very restricted on what I could eat while I was a child. So I had to have tuna.
Was it
for my
health
lunch.
reasons?
For health reasons, yeah.
Okay.
I had to cut down on my colours.
Was that dwarfism?
Shut up.
Because I mean, it must have worked because you're really tall
I'm
now.
really tall,
Okay.
okay.
So,
Get on to the next segment, all right?
okay. Well, I do not think you in any way resemble a tuna.
Thank you.
Okay.
More of a salmon.
Well, Ed, we are fortunate on this last program of the series to have Bert Van Manen. Seriously, he is our federal member for the seat of Ford. Ed normally, except for last week, would talk to us about latest things that make things easier to use, technical
whatever.
areas.
Some cool techniques.
Last
yeah.
week, Ed wanted to do his
So
own segment.
you want to talk to Sean and I
Yeah.
about tech stuff?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes, I'm using
little
very
bit.
simple and easy to understand language.
Okay.
I got you guys covered. It's okay.
Well, Mr. Ed, whenever I say Mr. Ed, I always think of that old TV
Yeah,
program.
the talking horse. Let's
There you
go.
Are you old enough to know that one?
No, but I've been around old enough people that have made that
Do you
joke
know what
hundreds
the owner of the
times.
horse's name was?
Nah, I don't remember. I've seen episodes. I haven't actually seen.
Do you
I don't
remember the
remember.
owner of the horse's name?
No, because I never watched it. I was out playing football or cricket or whatever. for a while.
Yeah, you nerd, Sean.
His name was Wilbur.
Well,
You could only get free channels in those days. Okay, Wilbur. All right, Ed, on a serious note, because
Yes.
time's got to go by.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you have for us in technology tonight?
Yeah, let's talk about this fun government app, Trace Together.
Trace together.
So the government is planning to implement a cool new app
Yeah.
to track you. Big Brother's watching. Orwell 1984. Run for your lives. Disconnect your telephone lines. Run into the forest and hide. They're coming for you. Nah, they're not coming for you. Hey, shut up.
Well, I mean,
they're not coming for you.
Ed does go a little bit. I don't think it's quite like that, Mr. Ed.
No. So I
A
understand.
bit of overstatement, a bit of hyperbole
A bit?
there.
Yeah.
A bit of hyperbole. So the
Well,
health-
hyperbole is others of
hyperbole,
it.
yes, hyperbole.
The first time I ever saw that word, I call it hyperbole.
Yeah, hyperbole.
Boy, did I make a fool of myself.
So the health minister, I think a couple of days ago, talked about how they're going to be implementing a new app, Trace Together. So what it is supposed to make easier is that when you go to the GP and you think you might be positive tested for COVID-19, normally you would have to, they test you. If it's positive, hey, we need to know everyone you've been in contact with. Right. This app is supposed to be a digitized version of that. So you have the app on your phone. Via Bluetooth, it will detect your phone number and the phone numbers around, and the app will store it so that if it is positive, the government can then download all the numbers that you've been in contact with.
Up to 21 days.
Up to 21 days.
Yes, it automatically refreshes up to
it,
21 days.
And
also, if you're only within 1.5 metres.
Yeah,
So the boys over there on the instruments, they wouldn't get picked up.
So it can tell if you're 1.5 metres away.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can tell who you're with.
Oh, not so much.
Well, via the phone number. So
via the phone number.
So they might know I'm with you, but they'll pick up my phone number from you.
No, not your phone number. The code that is is generated within the app.
Within the app. And it's supposed to be a digitized version of what you tell
Does
a
that only
doctor.
mean if I have the app as well, or even if I don't have the app?
No, both phones would have to have the app.
Oh,
Yeah.
So if I didn't have the app and Bert did, you'd pick up Bert but not me.
And if I had the app, it would pick up me, Bert would pick up me, I'd pick up Bert, wouldn't pick you
That's
up.
what I said.
Yeah.
I just said that, Ed.
So it
You
uses
said we need to be
Bluetooth.
worried about him?
It doesn't use location. So, no big brother's going to be like, ooh.
Yeah, but you do know that it's setting itself up for wild stories in this one, right?
Oh, look, there are always going to be people with conspiracy theories about a whole range of things. And
5G.
Can I say I get them regularly in my office? So there's a long
Let me
list.
tell
5G
you, I've
is the
been getting
latest.
them regularly here at the church.
Literally.
So,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's our responsibility just to get out there and communicate to the Australian people the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And it is replicating in a digital form what we're already doing manually now.
Yeah, that's the main focus. It's more digitizing what we're already doing.
Yeah.
I'm not the government.
And so if you, the individual, wants to turn that app off, you can turn it off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely voluntary. It's not mandatory.
Yeah.
So the government's not bringing out a law that you have to have the app?
No, just for you, Sean. We'll make a special.
And has any countries successfully used this particular app, or is it too early?
The Singaporeans, I believe, have a version of this. I believe South Korea might also have a version of tracking. So to the best of my knowledge, they're the main two, but we're developing our own. So we're not taking their technology, we're developing our own app for our own.
Well, look, I do know that last year in Australia, 900 died from the flu, and we have a vaccine for the flu.
Yes. But that doesn't mean we don't take the steps necessary.
No,
now to
I'm
try
not saying that in any way, but in my opinion, I'm just an assumption, which I know is the lowest form of knowledge.
Yeah, it is.
But Ed, I'll miss him. Okay, but what I'm saying is that I seem to think, and I don't know this medically, that you might wonder if this might be our lowest flu season purely because nobody's contacting each other.
Well, that's entirely a possibility, and we've got a record number of flu vaccine jabs available for people too. So
It's still available.
So also take the opportunity to go and get your flu jab.
Yeah, get the jab done when you can.
Yeah.
Well, very good. So Ed, this works on Bluetooth, right?
Yes, and
Not GPS.
Not
but Bluetooth.
GPS. It doesn't use your location. It doesn't use your 4G. There's no spooky 5G towers. It uses a Bluetooth, which to me does open a concern, because if it's later models of Bluetooth, like Bluetooth 4 and 3, which some older model phones have, there are vulnerabilities in that. Bluetooth 5 is a lot more safer. A lot of modern phones have Bluetooth 5. It's more secure.
How do you know if you have a Bluetooth 5?
In your Bluetooth settings on your phone or in your about settings, it'll list every version, like what Wi-Fi version you have, what 4G modeling you have, what mobile service access level you can have, and then it'll say what version of Bluetooth you have. look, if you have a phone from like the last 2 or 3 years, you probably got the latest
fine.
version of Bluetooth. Yeah. It's just that with older model phones, I'd probably maybe like, maybe don't get this app because if you.
Well, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Well, in older models of Bluetooth, it creates vulnerabilities in your phone. Like, for example, I always tell
be
people.
hacked.
Yeah, to be hacked. So it's not so prevalent in iOS because Apple phones just don't get hacked. It's more like
Apple.
I know it's in Android phones. It's in Android phone. Oh, you got an Android phone, then, you idiot.
He said it himself.
Yeah, so that's the only concern. Like, if you have an old phone, I wouldn't get the app. But if you have the latest, you got Bluetooth 5, and if you're at your home, probably don't turn your Bluetooth on. If you're outside and you're really concerned about this app, maybe turn it on. But I don't know. I always get concerned leaving my Bluetooth on when I'm not using like a Bluetooth headphones or connecting to a speaker.
I heard
That's the only
Siri
concern.
will protect you.
Well, yeah, of course, because you're on Apple.
Yeah, she's like the guardian, I think, of this world. Is that right? Or
Oh yeah, yes, the Guardian. Yes.
that's what she tells me.
Okay, very good. So
Well,
Ed,
that's why you buy apples.
Yeah, that's my issue. I haven't done an Apple
so
phone.
Ed, can I ask you, would you install this app?
When he upgrades to an apple.
Yeah, when I get the Apple phone soon, I know there's that saying, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear, right? That's a common political saying we use sometimes, right? But I am concerned about the Bluetooth being on. Because like I said, I only like putting my Bluetooth on when I'm using a Bluetooth device. And I know this is voluntary, and I know that I've actually been trying to go out of my way to not be around people. Like, I went for a walk at 5:30 a.m. I only spotted 2 people. I was maximum distance from them. So I think for my scenario in life, I probably won't need it installed. But I don't know.
you're
If I had
helping
an
the
Apple,
government.
if I had an Apple,
What are you
No.
hiding, Ed?
Yeah.
drugs.
No, Ed. He doesn't hide drug. We won't ever do that area there. I promise you.
It's the last episode. I just don't care anymore.
Oh, Ed, we need to care, okay? Let me say this. They did say they need to have like 100,000 people involved to make it effective.
About 40% of the population.
Right, and they said that Singapore and South Korea were just 20%.
Yes, I think that's right.
Which is, which I listened to the thing today, which wasn't enough. So I do find countries like Singapore are a lot more open to sort of things. If they're hesitant, what do you actually think would be the number in Australia who are like Ed, uniquely different?
Well, look, it's no different.
That was an insult.
It's
Hey, that was an insult.
It's no different to the personal electronic health record,
Oh, yes.
right? So
What percentage was that?
I don't know what the percentage is up to
Did
now,
they hit
but
what they wanted?
I think we're pretty
I
close.
opted out of it.
Okay.
But I mean, we have, in governments of all persuasions, or not governments for that matter, Facebook and Google, which are private companies,
Yeah.
already have far more information on
yeah.
you
Yeah.
than this app is ever going to collect.
And smart
right?
TVs.
Right. So if you're worried about this, the first thing you're going to do is close down your Facebook and your Google accounts and get off social media.
And I will say that,
honestly,
if you're really worried about the government stealing your information, just remember the ATO already has so much of your own information
I
anyway.
think, Ed,
so
the concern is,
Yeah.
I don't want, my concern's not that. My concern is I get a ticket in the mail saying you were too close to Bert or something. Or
No, that's not the case.
Yeah, I know you say that, but I'm just telling you,
because it's not being used for enforcement of social distancing.
Yeah.
It's being used to be able to trace people that have potentially been in contact with somebody who's been positively diagnosed with coronavirus. It's not being used for any other purpose.
So let me ask one more concluding question.
Oh.
Barnaby,
Yeah.
okay?
And he's not 70, by the way. He's about 52, and he just had a
Ed,
couple of kids.
don't worry, Ed always thinks comes in there. So why is he so hesitant?
You'd have to ask Barnaby that question because I haven't spoken to him.
I can't get him on, okay? But you did
but
promise me you'd put me in contact with a
will-
senator, though, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how's
And,
that going?
Slowly.
Slowly. Oh, I knew it, okay?
But I'll happily download the app.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with it.
You have an Apple phone, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see?
All right, well, this is the first segment, and let me just say how well you have done. What do you think? Has he done well?
This is fun talking to a politician.
Are you in Bert's division?
No. I think, I don't even know who my local is. Last time I remember it was Cameron Dick is my...
Where do you live? Woodridge?
I'm in Rankin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Woodridge,
right.
Slacks Creek.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jim Chalmers is your federal member.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Jim Chalmers.
Whoops. Wrong politician.
There you go, wrong party. Okay, on that wonderful note, are we going to commercial to a song?
Let's go to a commercial.
Let's go to a commercial. I believe it's well planted.
Yeah, literally.
Take it away.
If you're looking for some new indoor plants for your house, why not check out plantsforyourhome.com.au. With free contactless delivery, you can order online and have your plants delivered straight to your door. You can choose from a wide selection of indoor plants, new and ex-hire stock, all priced at prices you won't believe. It's a great service, so jump online now to plantsforyourhome.com.au.
You can always count on her. It's Melissa!
Melissa, nice to have you back.
Thank you.
You seem so far away.
Yes,
This social
my own
distancing
chair.
is really going. I'll work it out there anyhow. Seem a long way away. How are you?
Good, thank you. Very well.
Were you sad when I announced that this is a break in the show?
Yeah, she was crying in the corner earlier. I can't believe
She
it.
looks
Yeah.
happy, Ed. She looks happy.
Finally, I got a way out of this.
How is the accounting business going during this time in
Very
our life?
well. Yes, lots of people calling out to me. So no, it's going well. Yeah.
So what sort of things are they calling out to you for and about?
help. Yeah.
Help.
Lots, and
That's
lots of businesses struggling, very, very much so.
So
yeah.
would you classify your field of work as a struggling field during the coronavirus?
Only in the sense of people don't have the money to pay us.
That would cause struggling.
So, but they need their accountant at the same time. So that's where I'm.
So
there
how
to
do you
help.
handle that? Do you just
there to
like
help.
do it, or you just, if they get a return, you
I
deduct
do,
it?
and I know
what do
that
you do?
my clients are very good, so they will pay me in the end.
I am a client.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm a client too.
Yes, so that works out good. I would
Yeah.
strongly recommend your
You
business.
have good clients, and then you have those
Yes.
that are sort of questionable, don't
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Definitely.
Ed. Yeah, okay.
Hey,
And what's the name of your business again?
Melissa Donnelly Accounting Services.
Oh,
Melissa
Donnelly.
Donnelly, not
Yes.
Donnelly.
Donnelly.
It's not Irish.
No.
Word.
Well, it is Irish heritage.
It is Irish, yes.
Yeah. Melissa
Yeah.
Donnelly,
Donnelly Accounting
Accounting Services.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's it.
So, Melissa, this is our final show for this particular season, or this
Yeah, it
block,
is.
and we'll
Season
do it
one.
again later. So, Melissa looks at helping us out with businesses and gives advice and counsel for those who are watching in business, and to do with, well, we've got to decipher what is state government, what is federal, and obviously you can only tell us as much as you know for state, but you probably know more than we do. And also help us in federal. So Melissa always looks to see what's happening, what's not happening, what's delayed, what's coming. And we found some interesting things, didn't we? We were having a discussion earlier on
Yep.
about one of the grants.
Yes, the job support loan, that was a Queensland government one, has actually closed its applications now. They've had an overwhelming response, so they've closed applications for that one.
Now, we gave a break. We let it out on this program, the very first one, which was
Yep.
4 weeks ago, where we
Yep.
mentioned that particular area. We said, go now, go get it done.
That's right.
Is that
Yep.
right?
Applications
So let me
opened.
just say to you, if you are left in the lurch and your accountant did not help you out, Melissa, call her.
Yeah, your accountant sucks.
Because, time for a change. Melissa. Because we warned you, and Melissa took care of that for us in the fellowship here, took care of that area. So you need to make sure that they hold your interest, you're just not a number. Melissa Donahue.
Come on, Mum. You
Remember.
used to it in the
Okay.
past. Use it this
That's
year.
good.
as
She
well.
did.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does.
exactly,
She does good.
exactly, Mum.
So, I mean, was it always just a set amount of money?
It was a set amount of money. They haven't reached the set amount yet. But
How much is a set amount?
It was, I believe, 500 million. Yes.
500
Yep.
million.
And they've already approved and given nearly 200 million. So
200
they've
million.
closed applications.
And the maximum amount was?
250,000.
So $250,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we had said in the previous program, I was saying, look, when individuals try to do it, they hit so many roadblocks. It's best to use a person who's professionally trained, like your accountant areas, like Melissa.
Melissa.
So I find they know the proper wording or paperwork in the area. What
Yes.
questions are they asking you, Melissa?
One in particular is they have seen a drop in their revenue, but obviously as restrictions ease and they can start trading properly again, they're concerned that they will be their revenue will increase before September, which is the 6-month time frame. So will those JobKeeper payments stop prior to that?
My understanding is they continue for the 6 months.
Okay.
I'm happy to double check that, but my understanding is they continue for the 6 months, but they'll stop. The legislation has a final date of payments of the 27th of September.
Yes. Yep.
But there is a but in this, though, isn't there?
There is.
You got blank look at me. But there is a but in this. Tell them the but in this.
I just found out from Bert before that because part of the requirements of receiving the JobKeeper is the business has to self-assess and confirm that their income and their revenue has dropped each month or each quarter. I think we have to report that. If it turns out that the business hasn't dropped to what they thought it would, they will have to pay the JobKeeper back.
Yes.
Plus
interest. Plus interest, yep.
Wow.
Yes,
So
I was
you
not
better
aware of
make
that.
sure your accountant is
Yes.
on the ball.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like Melissa.
So, I mean, so if you're getting it
Yep.
and you have recovered, and you're supposed to do a monthly return on it?
Monthly or quarterly, depends on the size of the business. Yeah.
So you have to do a return, and it finds out that you have exceeded or gone on.
Yep.
You
And we're
have
not
got to
actually
pay back
entitled.
with interest. What is the interest?
And the other important thing is that you still genuinely have those employees on your books,
Yes.
which can be verified through single touch payroll.
Yes.
The other important part of that is if you have a part-time employee that is maybe earning $400 a week and they qualify for job seeker, or the business qualifies
Yeah.
for job seeker, and you're getting a job seeker payment for that employee, you've got to pay them the $750. You
That's
don't
right.
just pay the $400 and keep the other $350 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard the Prime Minister say this particular statement, and he said this. He said some companies, because he was asked this question, do I have to pass it on? And he said some companies where their employees get paid more than $750 have told them, well, we're going to reduce your hours till it equals out to that $750. So instead of 40 hours, it might be 30 hours or something else.
That's got to be agreed to by the employee. Right?
Really? Because I thought
it's
the
gotta
Prime
be-
Minister
it's gotta be a
said that they could, the employer
Well,
could
under
say,
the-
I can't afford to pay you the buffer between that, let's say it was $1,000 a week. And
It's still got to be a discussion because that's a fair work. That's a fair work matter.
but
I
my understanding
believe
this
that
time the
they-
Fair Work
they-
man is a little bit out of the window.
Fight.
But they changed.
We've relaxed the
Legislation.
the time frame. Now, normally, if you want to reduce somebody's hours of work, it had to be a 7-day period. We've now reduced that to 1 day, so that's a very short discussion. But ultimately, there's the flexibility for the employer to do it.
So what if the employee says, look, I can't afford the extra $250. I'm trying to do you a kind of a favour to keep you on the books.
Well, you've got to have a look at the totality of the package that's out there. So if somebody's salary is going to be reduced, if they have a mortgage, the banks are assisting people with deferring mortgage payments.
Yeah.
If you're renting, a lot of landlords or property owners are assisting people with reducing their rent payments if their income is reduced. So it's not just looking at this particular item, it's looking at the totality of the support packages and assistance that's out there. I know a lot of the utility companies like Energex and Origin and the telephone companies and others are also have got processes in place for people's bills to be deferred. Logan City Council
But
has
deferred
put,
doesn't mean forgiven.
No, but
How do you handle the pile up?
Well-
Like renting is piles up at the end, council rates piles up at the end. People are struggling to make rates as it is rather than being doubled.
But the repayment of those things over time doesn't attract interest, right? So people will work through those processes as things recover.
It's just sounds scary, debt.
And the other thing with this is for some people, depending on their financial situation, they might be better off on JobSeeker rather than JobKeeper, because if they have young families with, if you're renting with rent assistance and family tax benefit and a range of other things you get under JobSeeker that you don't necessarily get under JobKeeper. So people should have a look at the range of what's available and have and make a decision on what is in their best interest as well.
I was talking to my friends in America. They get $1,250 one-off payment. That's it. I mean, per person, but that's it. And
go
$500
Australia.
for a kid. I mean, we are so fortunate here.
Oh, so fortunate.
But it's never enough, though, Ed.
No.
Hey, it beats one-off payment, that's for sure.
I
not,
know.
And not only that, you have a look at the quality of our health system.
Yeah, free healthcare. Come on, America.
Well, it's not free. Somebody always
Oh,
pays
yeah,
for
I know.
it.
There's the co-payment crap. Yeah, I know.
We might use different words, Ed, but yes, we get the idea. But the fact of the matter is that, I mean, I know we're not socialist, okay, in that context, but we're more leaning towards that. And I'm not demeaning that, because I figure they help. It's like any system, it can be abused. But you know, for some people, it'll never be enough.
That's correct. Welcome to my world of politics.
Yeah, there'll never be enough, and there'll always be a level of corruption.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean that, like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, so to speak.
Look, people do that with their taxes. People do it with insurance companies.
I definitely do that
that's-
with my taxes.
You know, that's the nature of some people, unfortunately.
Nature of the beast. Let's not talk about beast at this time, though.
and many of the laws we have in place are because of the minority that do the wrong thing, not
Yeah.
because of the majority who do the right thing.
Melissa?
That's right.
What else you have?
Just one other, I would like to get your opinion, Bert, is on the rental situation, residential and commercial.
Hot potato.
Yes.
Now, look, I've had some very heartwarming discussions with a number of property owners who have been very proactive in going and speaking with their tenants and coming to mutually agreeable arrangements that keeps a roof over the tenant's head, even though as the property owner they've taken a reduction in income. And I believe that's always the way it should operate.
Yep.
And equally on the commercial and industrial side, again, that's the way it should operate. And sadly, I'm aware from talking to businesses in major shopping centres that some of those shopping centre owners have been less than helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
But again, I've also heard stories of smaller shopping centre owners who have been very accommodating. And again, it depends on the individual businesses. I know a particular business that has a drive-through capacity. Their businesses in those centres with drive-throughs are going really, really well. And even though they've been approached, if they want a rent reduction, they've said, no, we don't need it because business is going well. So again, I think it should be on a case-by-case basis, and both parties have got to come to the table.
Yeah.
Most interesting. How do you feel well informed?
Great. Yes. Thank you, Bert.
No, thanks,
great.
Melissa. Ta.
Well, I'd like more, but more. But I mean, you know, it's a good leg
We
start.
still have Erica to come.
Has Erica to come. One more setting. Are you
Yes.
ready?
Yeah, all good.
You're doing great.
Right.
I don't see any perspiration yet.
Yes.
Yet.
Erica will be fine. That'll be.
We don't call her Miss Oklahoma for anything, you know. Annie Oakley. Okay. Take it away, guys.
It's Erica from America! Bethel, live on the set.
Yay.
Oklahoma via Reading to Queensland.
Reading.
Yes. No,
Reading.
it's ready.
Save the best till last.
Yes, indeed.
So are you sad this is our last show in this particular block?
I'm looking forward to the next thing we're preparing for.
Oh,
And
very
not
good.
having, I think I ran out of new clothes to wear, so it's a good time.
Geez, what are you, a politician? That was such a half answer. Oh, I'm looking forward to what the next beginning is.
Ed, I have a friend who's a politician here.
That's the whole point,
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
It's all right. I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear a joke? You want to hear a joke?
But
No.
but
Yeah.
we can find where you live. So that's not.
It's true. You can just check with the tax department. You want to hear a joke? I got a joke. How can you tell if a politician's lying? His lips are moving.
Oh,
No.
that's not true for you, of course.
Seriously, Ed, your material.
Ed,
You started off poor with old stuff. You haven't got any better.
No. Bert is a good man.
Yes, he is.
What do we do with him?
I got several things in mind. Okay, Miss Erica, let's
Yes.
get to the cut because,
Yes.
as my director would tell us, we're going long.
Yes.
And then he tells jokes.
Yes.
Okay, so please, Erica, tell us.
So Mr. Turnbull's new book called A Bigger Picture is coming out on Monday. And I heard rumor that there's something that has to do with you in it. Is that true?
Apparently, I've not that I'm prepared to spend the $40 to buy it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've got very little interest in reading it.
Fair enough.
But apparently,
But
I'm
if someone gave you a copy,
if somebody gave me a copy, I'd probably read it.
thank you. See, he's honest.
There you go.
But apparently, I'm referred to in there as one of the Prime Minister's minions. So
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, those maybe suck.
they consider minion caricature of me in the chair next time.
Yellow, one eye, two eye. Yeah. Okay, my mind goes wild. It's one thing
I probably shouldn't give you ideas like that because that'd be very dangerous.
on those areas,
Or
and,
even Ed.
and I don't mean disrespect to the Prime Minister, because I believe, I was reading an article that says that I give honour not always because those people deserve honour, but because I want to be honourable. And so I say that area, and also of Kevin Rudd and everything else. One of the political people I admired more so was George W. Bush. And when he went out of office, there was this unwritten rule. I'm not saying Obama fulfilled that fully, but George W. did, where he said, I've done my term, I now fade out. And when they said to him during Obama's reign, and Obama was having goes at him, different things, they said, and he was promoting his book, they said, why don't you say anything? He says, well, I've held to the belief, as his dad, George H., and each one, that my time is done, I need to fade out, I'm going to just remain silent. And I don't understand what it is of our, do you think, I mean, this is a bit of a curve. I don't want the American system, I'm not saying that, but if there is something in the American system I would like, it would be set terms and they have to retire, like 3-year terms, no more.
Well, a lot of Prime Ministers serve at the pleasure of the party room.
That's exactly, not the people with the party room. Yeah.
Right, so, but you know, we've been through a period of turbulence, but in fairness to Julia Gillard, I think she's done that. She's gone off and forged her own career outside of politics and has rarely got involved in any debates about politics since. You know, John Howard has done that very well.
Yes, good statesman.
Equally, I think Bob Hawke and Paul Keating did that.
Paul Keating pops up quite a bit now and then, but I mean...
But, you know, that's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
But, you know, others have decided to take a different track.
Kevin 07.
And even Tony Abbott, to a degree, has stepped out of public life and is pursuing his own.
Once he finished his term in Parliament, he has certainly gone quiet. And I did appreciate when the Cardinal Pell, or used to be Cardinal Pell, was released from prison, not getting to the area, and I saw that the media was at his house and asked for his opinion, and I really liked the way that Tony Abbott responded. He said, I don't think it's fitting or appropriate to give an opinion on this particular area. And I must tell you that I know the media wanted more, but I do respect that sort of a statement. I mean, he is entitled to his opinion, as we all are, but we don't always have to share that opinion, and because it's so divisive and so difficult. So, you know, I don't think his book is going to be a top seller. It's like Hillary Clinton's book. I saw it in America at $1 a book. You know, $1.
That's good firewood.
I mean, I'm not going to put her down either, but I mean, like, it's just, I just don't see where it gets you anywhere.
So, and as I said earlier, we have far more important issues to deal with than worrying about what a former Prime Minister has written in his book.
Yeah, and I'm sad that he's hurt in such a way.
It doesn't do anything to help any of the businesses in my electorate or across Australia who are struggling. Doesn't keep a single person in a job.
No.
There's far more important issues for us to be dealing with.
I agree.
Yes.
Miss Erica?
Speaking of politics,
Yes?
so Dr. Clarence Sexton shares the incredible story of the Hebrides revival
Hebrides.
and how a special Bible made its way to the White House.
This is an interesting story, isn't it? A friend of mine, Tim Menace in Houston, Texas, this is seemingly a bit of a buzz through there. Do you want to tell the background of that?
Yes, I only have a little bit written down. But between 1949 and 1952, there was a widespread revival that swept through
In the Hebrides, New Hebrides.
the islands, and in answer to the prayers of God's people. And a Bible that was involved in that revival was passed down through the family to...
Well, it went like this. So there was like two older ladies who were too sick in the 80s, too sick to go to the church, everything else, but they decided they'd just pray and pray and pray off their Bible. This is the story that's told. And they say it had a real touch or a seed. Just like in the Welsh revival, they say it wasn't just about Evan Roberts, but about there was 5 or 6 older ladies who prayed and prayed and prayed, intercessors. And they said that one of the key people in the area from that move was a man called Donald, not the president, but in the area. He married a Scottish woman, because the Hebrides they're talking about there is off the Scotland coast, and married this particular woman, I forget her name, and one of her sons was Donald Trump. And so this Bible from that move, that she had from that move, she gave to Donald Trump, and that's the Bible that seemingly, the president has in his room. So they said the revival of 46 years ago is now with the 45th president. Not that I get caught in those numbers. So the question being asked is significance.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if it makes you
I-
feel
I-
warm
I
and
haven't
fuzzy,
heard the
all the
story,
best.
so- yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that right?
Yeah.
See, because I
The
don't.
more important thing is you're reading it.
Yes.
And what the translation is, because we know we don't read the new we don't read the new Irish version.
we don't get caught up in those areas. Just read the Bible. You know what I mean? And
It's not the King James.
Yeah. What translation Bible do you read?
I
Ed?
read the Pastor Sean Hansen of Dunamis Church approved translation, the Holman's Christian Standard Bible.
No, that's just my private one I like to read. I think you Americans one.
It's in our contracts. I'm just kidding.
What translation do you read?
Yeah, HCSB.
Yeah, see? It's
But I have
contractual.
ESV. I don't have an actual
English
HCSB.
Standard. Yeah.
That's just
Mr.
on my
Bitt, what
phone.
translation do you
English Standard.
read? ESV. Okay, very good. Good. Yep. I'll move
Geneva.
on because I find it too controversial.
So Virgin Australia has been placed into a voluntary administration. I have lots of details on that. If you would like to.
That is share the shareholders on that.
So the title of the graphic was Who Owns Virgin Australia? And 10% is minor Australian shareholders, 20% non-Sean, 20% HSA,
They're both Chinese. Yes, that's
20
40% by China.
20% Etihad.
40%, yeah.
Etihad. I don't know how to say it. Yes.
Etihad, yeah.
10% Virgin
Middle
and
East.
20% Singapore Airlines.
Yeah.
That's 110%.
No, that's 10% Australian shareholders, 2 different Chinese companies, 20% each, that's 50. Singapore Airlines is 20, okay. Etihad Airlines in the Middle East, okay, is 20, okay, and 10% with Branson or whatever else there.
Oh, it is
That's
100%. I can't count.
So I think I heard one of your colleagues say, why would we finance a company that is owned by 90% owned by outside interests?
Yeah, it ain't Australian.
Correct. And why would we do that when we've got a multitude of Australian businesses that are struggling that we're not going to finance? So it's the responsibility of those investors and those shareholders in Virgin, and they're the ones out of the board meeting yesterday that put it into administration. That now gives the company the opportunity to work through its issues, hopefully restructure and refinance its debt. We want them to come back better and stronger than what they were, and be a genuine competitive second airline to Qantas, because we need that competition in the marketplace. But if we go bailing Virgin out, who else are we going to bail out?
Well, I did hear, and I'm just sharing, okay? Because who am I to say?
Exactly.
Do I have an interest in Virgin? I do. And it's not shares, it's just that I have my tickets there that I was supposed to fly away and it's been delayed. I don't want to lose them. That was my points.
Me too.
So, you too. Okay, so I do have a vested
technically
interest.
do.
But putting that besides, did hear Deloitte say this morning that they're trying to just refinance the company. Okay? But I'm just throwing this out, saying what's the difference? Because I personally think that the major airline, maybe, be gracious to me, is a little bit different. Bear with me. Let me explain something, okay? Statistically, it tells us, so they wanted to borrow like 1.4 billion, 1.5 billion, right? My understanding is the Australian government, because it's credit rating, and we did this with Papua New Guinea, we can borrow at a lower interest rate than what they can. Yeah. Therefore, I'm making this up, I don't know. So let's just say we borrowed 1.4, 1.5 billion at 2%. We could then lend it to them at 5% and make 3% as a business investment. We did that with Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, but that's all well and good, but does that result in a restructured, profitable company that you're going to get your loan repaid?
Pyramid scheme.
Well,
because that ultimately, if you're going to give them money, you want that
Not
money.
give them.
Well, as a loan.
Yeah.
Right. You
Well,
still want that loan to be repaid.
Well, yes. Then Branson's got to put up his island. He just said today that his island in the
and that's the best solution, Sean.
Yeah. Put up his island. So what does New Guinea give us as a guarantee?
Well,
the territory again? I mean,
no, but they're a sovereign government. That's a different
All
discussion.
right. Well, let me throw this in for another statistic, and I'm not saying you're wrong, because I'm not a financial whiz like y'all. Okay, so just say, so since Virgin came in, domestic travel as a competition's dropped by 30%. Right, in ticket prices.
Oh yes.
Right, ticket prices 30%. Right. So they estimate that if you take what that's worth over 10 years, it's like $15 billion. So when you compare lending 1.4, 1.5 as to what it saves the average person, you see the picture?
There will be, whatever happens with Virgin, there will be the opportunity for another airline to come into the Australian market to compete against
I won't
Qantas.
get my tickets back.
Well,
I lose my points.
Actually, I have a comment to make about it. There
Yeah.
was I have two final great newses.
Please
in
make
my
Ed
opinion.
happy and get to
Yeah,
find
make
two.
it quick.
Both are about animals, as per your request.
I like animals.
I hope it's cat news.
No.
Well, one is broadly speaking of pets.
Yeah.
So this is in the States. Pet Point, which is a software program shared by some 1,200 shelters nationwide, reported that fostering and adoptions are up 700% over last year due to people staying at home more.
I just hope that when it's over, they still love those puppies.
Me too.
correct.
Absolutely.
I mean, in some ways, it's kind of scary, isn't it?
Any comments on tigers?
Oh, we had that last week, I
no.
think.
No tigers.
We refrained
Do
this time
you have a
around.
pet, Bert?
Yeah, pet dog.
A dog? What sort of dog?
Here we
Bernese
go. They're gonna be
Mountain
like
Dog
this for an
Cross.
hour.
Burmese,
Bernese Mountain Dog.
Burnese,
Bernese.
Bernese Mountain Dog cross with what? What's he
We
angry
think,
at?
cross. I think it's a Kelpie or cattle dog or something like that.
Hey, cattle
That'll
dog.
be a bit of a little.
She's a fabulous
Biter?
dog.
Wow.
No,
How
no,
big
she-
is it?
Is
a Burmese dog big, or?
No, she's sort of halfway between a cattle dog and a Bernese. So she's a really nice
I
dog.
don't know what a I'm going to look
And
at.
has
what
a has a
comparing
has a
dog
wonderful
sizes.
smile.
Oh, smart. And you know, Erica's looking to get a dog. What sort of dog is that you getting?
So standard Schnauzer,
Schnauzer.
Yes.
Schnauzer.
which my mother-in-law
They have a
calls her
miniature,
Schnauzer.
they have a standard, and they have a giant. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Who cares,
Three
right? But I
sizes.
mean, the fact is that Schnauzer.
Yes.
I have a German Shepherd.
Yes.
We
So,
know it was an ex-canine, and if you lift your
Corrections
arm
dog,
up,
corrections
it'll
dog.
bite you.
That's true. I'm
Yes,
scared of her.
remind me to invite you around when I'm not
That's your penance for your misbehaviour.
Shane had a bad experience with her, so I mean, anyhow, yeah, the kids
Yes.
coming around with things. And,
Final
yes.
statement.
Yes.
So specialist detector dogs could sniff out coronavirus. So as long as they were trained correctly and there was an actual scent to pick up on, they could sniff out
is
coronavirus.
there a scent to pick up?
Well-
I
what
don't
about
know.
this, Erica? I mean, we heard in the Bronx Zoo the tigers caught it from somebody and the lions caught it.
Yes.
Wouldn't the canine dog catch it then?
I have no idea. I don't have my lab coat on today.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Actually, I did hear
that
some
could be
research.
cruelty to animals.
I heard some research that pets specifically, from my understanding, they can't catch it, but they can have the germs on them. So they can
So what happened to
transport
the
germ.
tiger in the Bronx?
That's different than a dog. I don't know. I can't speak on that one.
So we're going back to a kind.
yes, there
There
you
are
go.
different kinds.
Yes.
Get it? Kinds. Noah's Ark, kinds. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll leave
That's
it
all I
there.
have.
So the dog
Thank
kind
you.
is different from the cat kind.
Oh,
Yes.
this is the Ken Ham thing. Yeah, you should go check out those episodes on
That
the
was
Dunamis
pretty
Church
good.
channel.
That was
That's
very
true.
popular.
Yeah,
Very
it was.
popular.
Yeah, it
Bert
was.
used to be a part of the Genesis group, didn't you, when I first met you?
Yeah, I still get their magazine.
Yeah, Bert was
that's
it.
pretty
Ken
cool.
was asking about you. Not really, but it sounds good, okay? Those are good.
I think it's
Anything
more
else, Miss
important.
Erica?
That's it. Thank you.
Erica, it's been just a pleasure having you. I'm going to miss not
That's been
seeing
okay.
you.
Yes.
She'll still be around, help me out. And it's a pleasure. Mr. Bert,
No, thank you.
thank you so much.
Always a
And we're
pleasure.
certainly praying, seriously, we are certainly praying, and please be in prayer for Bert, and not only Bert, but all of our, there's a lot of good Christians in there, is that right? Yeah. And we're trying to get some to come on, okay? And so please keep them in prayer. And even those who may not be Christians, they still deserve our prayers.
Yes.
Isn't that right? We should be praying. Our new mayor just got sworn in today. Yes. And we should be praying for our mayor and praying God's hand on this mayor and all of our local councillors. And we have our state government coming up in September, right?
End of October,
End of
31st of October.
October.
31st of October.
Halloween.
Yeah, let's go.
Halloween. Okay,
Hopefully
which
it-
one will you pick? Okay, but anyhow, it comes out. So it's a pleasure to have you, my friend.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Sean.
Let's rerun that ad one more time.
If you're looking for some new indoor plants for your house, why not check out plantsforyourhome.com.au. With free contactless delivery, you can order online and have your plants delivered straight to your door. You can choose from a wide selection of indoor plants, new and ex-hire stock, all priced at prices you won't believe. It's a great service, so jump online now to plantsforyourhome.com.au.
It's done.
Yeah,
It's
you guys better
finished.
stop playing. We gotta
So
talk now.
this is a short series.
Yes, very short.
4.
4.
No more.
No
well,
more.
maybe more, odd one later on, but 4.
Not 5,
If-
not 6, not 3.
If
but
you
4.
feel like we should still be running, let us know.
I mean, like we're sitting, we can't really be running right now.
Well, you know what I mean. So if you really like us, just let us know. I don't imagine Jake over there is going to be sending us anything, but
No.
there might be others. Ed, it's been great being with you these last 4 times.
Yes.
I have a gift for you.
Oh,
Do you know what the gift is?
is it a raise?
Do you get paid more than $750 a week?
I mean, no. I mean, like, I'm technically getting a raise as a job keeper.
Oh, well, JobKeeper comes in well. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Ed has this thing
Oh.
about not wearing shoes.
I'm wearing shoes right now. See?
I know.
Zoom in.
I know. But
This is
Ed
for
has
you,
this
Justin.
thing. Eric, are you aware of him not wearing shoes at
Yeah,
times?
he's the barefoot bandit.
And it. I used to have staff members that got really annoyed with him. You know what I mean?
Was it a smell issue or something?
No, just for health and safety.
Yeah,
That's
health
all.
and safety.
So I do like this guy. I want to be kind to him. So I got you
Oh,
something.
you're just saying it because the cameras are on. Uh-oh.
Are you
If
ready?
it's Crocs.
So I got you these socks.
Oi.
They're called sneaker socks.
Yeah, let's go.
So I figure that when you wear these socks,
Yes?
people will actually think you're wearing runners.
Yes.
And you won't draw so much attention to yourself.
Yeah.
What size is your foot?
12?
This is 11.
Oh, I
well,
can't wear them.
it's UK 11.
Oh, that probably means Australian
US
10.
11 and a half. So it's just a half. You can stretch them.
Yeah, he'll fit 'em.
So just a little thank you, Ed.
Can you put it on now?
No.
No, we don't want to. I already made a foot joke.
Okay, so it comes in
can
there.
make another one.
If it's no good for you, put it in your glory box.
Okay.
He doesn't know what a glory box is, does he?
Or because I'm thinking of something else. That's
Okay.
inappropriate.
Glory box, hope box. You know what that means?
Is it like where you put the money in?
No. But I'll tell you later. It's been great being here, and thank you for these 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Next Wednesday, we're coming back with something very different.
Yes, we're talking about the end times.
Eschatology would say in theology, okay? Study of the end times.
Yes.
So God's blessings. And guys over there, give us something with a bit of a bang and say good night.
Here we are tonight to talk life at Dunamis.
Good job. Good job, everyone.
Yeah.